out that I've got the Ukrainian flag behind me because it keeps falling down. I can't get it to stand up, and I wanted to have it in the background to show my support. I do actually have a couple of friends from the Ukraine, so I just wanted to show my support. Unfortunately, I lost touch with them. I'm trying to trace them. I'm quite worried about them, but anyway, I suppose there wouldn't be anyone watching from the Ukraine right now, but if they are, on the off chance, then I'm sending you my love and prayers and support. Okay, now I am a bit late. I'm very sorry that I'm a bit late. I'm not having a great pain day, and it was just really difficult to just get myself moving. So, what do I do when I'm not having a good pain day? I always reach for my instant look inner palettes, and I had an idea. I picked up the wrong thing. No. See, I'm doing it again. I'm sure I picked up the right thing, and I put it down and lost it already. I had an idea that I was going to use this palette here, which is a very old palette, so shoot me, I don't care. Right, and hello Maria, hello Terry. This palette, which is Natural Beauty, it's one of the first ones she brought out, so it is actually very old, but I do look after my palettes. And yes, there will be some people that go, oh, you shouldn't put that near your eyes. But as I said, I don't care. But I just need to get something else because I had an idea about what to use it with. And I found it. So I wanted to use it with Nude Cashmere. Because I think it will work really well with Nude Cashmere. This will provide a really good base. And the reason, just to recap, the reason I always reach for these palettes when I'm having a bad pain day is because they've got everything in the one palette. So I use these a lot, and that's why I never hesitate, even when they look pretty similar to the last one she's brought out. I always stock up on these. Hello, Nina, because that's what I use them for. Bad pain days, you've got your eyeshadow, you've got your bronzer, you've got your highlighter. You really don't have to start fishing around for lots of items. You can do a pretty good look. And I remember I took this into hospital when Jack was having, you missed much. No, you haven't missed much because I've just joined, Nina. I've just come on. So I use this in hospital. I've just pointing out that I've got the Ukraine flag behind because I've got a couple of friends that unfortunately I lost touch with that are from the Ukraine, just to show my support. But I'm pointing it out now because it keeps falling down. I can't get it to stay put. Okay, now, yes. So I took this to hospital when Jack was in hospital because I wanted to, it's a sort of palette, this Natural Beauty. She should relaunch this. This is such a good palette, right? She should relaunch this palette. It's called Natural Beauty. Now, I took it in because I wanted to, obviously I was sleeping next to Jack's bed, and I wanted to feel a little bit more awake and a little less you know, to give me a bit of strength and motivation if I was upset or whatever. But I didn't want to look like I was done up like a dog's dinner either. And this is the palette. It will just give you that lovely, fresh. But what I want to combine it with, as well as Nude Cashmere, is to combine it with a bright red lip. Because actually, you can afford to go really bold on your lips when you've got a very subtle eye look. It's one way of doing it. And I did put out a red lipstick. which I've also put down in a weird place. But you know what? You're getting used to me doing this, aren't you? So we're just going to keep going, and I'll look for it when I need it. Right now, I'm going to look for my tea. So I'm going to start off. I've been using my face oil, and I've used that oil once on my arm. I'm going to give an update because it's actually calmed it down quite a bit, but I'm not going to show that now. You don't want to see my manky old arm, but I will do an update on that. You followed back today. Ah, right, okay. You have a coffee. So I'm going to put my Beautiful Skin foundation on. Well, that's reminded me I need to put in an order for Avon. If Lucy's joining me, remind me later, Lucy. I don't think she's here yet, but I've put some stuff in the basket for my sister and I haven't ordered it yet. And she's paid me, so I better get on and order it. But I thought I'm going to order some of that serum foundation because I liked it. And I like the shade on me. And it looks the same as this. Now, continuing on from yesterday, I wanted to talk about, is the facial oil worth it? And I know I said a bit about that yesterday. And I'm going to do some maths for you all because it's not a really simple question to answer. Oh, thank you, Nina. Fabulous video on the Superfusion oil. And I'll tell you why it's not a simple question to answer. I've actually gone on to Amazon, right? And I've priced up Babusu oil, organic Babusu oil. I've priced up, obviously we know what olive oil costs. Obviously you would be, for your face, you'd be getting the virgin organic oil. Pricing up some of the oils that are, obviously I'm not going to be able to get the trademarked ingredients that are going in that are supposed to help collagen. But let's just say for a minute that all of excluding the trademarked ingredients, which I wouldn't be able to buy, I went and purchased all the other oils. I'm going to do a little shopping list and put it up to kind of highlight what I'm trying to say, and I'll put it on Instagram and maybe on my community here. So the thing is, yeah, you can get Babusu oil, for example. You can get, I think, 50 mils of it or something. Actually, it might be 100 mils for $11.99. You can get avocado oil for something like £6 for 250 mils. You can get olive oil, obviously, and you tot it up. And you probably are going to spend, I don't know, I haven't done it all yet, but you're probably going to spend possibly the same, 50, 60 quid, possibly a bit less. But here's the thing, you've then got masses of oil, and unless you're going to then bottle it up and then sell it to your friends, you're not going to use it in time. And that's why and that's also excluding the fact that you don't get these trademarked ingredients. Now, I am always a little bit skeptical about these trademarked ingredients because I think some of their claims are a bit dubious. You know, an extract of a certain thing increasing collagen. I want to know more. I still want to know more. And that's why I love doing the deep dive, by the way, because I can't think of the analogy, but I'm like that. I want to keep going to find out, is it worth it? Is it worth it? Am I being conned as a consumer? And that's why I love doing it for you guys. I love finding out if something's worth it. But I think all in all, getting your own oils and mixing them is going to end up being nearly as expensive, if not as expensive. And you're going to end up with a lot of oil that you're going to have to throw out after a year. That's why I'm saying that although on the surface of things, olive oil, avocado oil, these things, when you look at them in isolation, they don't look like expensive oils. In order to get them all and to put them together, it's starting to look less expensive. Do you see what I'm saying? Oh, Posh is here, is she? Hello, Jem. Hello, Rebecca. Right, I'm going to say hello to you all. I'm just, by the way, while I'm chatting, I'm just putting on some Tom Ford. And this is called Emotion Proof Concealer. It's my concealer of choice these days. I do like it. It's very good. And I like putting it on with a sponge. Now, I'm going to say hello. You're late. Don't worry, I was late too. But Ali, she tested it on 2 people. Don't you get me started, Rebecca. You know what I'm like. You know what I'm like. 311%. Really? Don't. Please don't. You don't want me to go there. Is everybody good? You know what I'm like once I start on a rant. Right, I'm going to say hello to everyone. So hello to Nina. Hello, Bushra. Hello, Terry. Hello, Tria. Hello, Tria. Hello, Bushra. I've said hello to Bushra already. Tria, Bushra, Terry. Bushra. Yes, avocado oil is fantastic as a hair mask. I warm it up a little, then put it on. Brilliant tip. Thank you, Bushra. Wayne Gosser said the Superfusion oil is fabulous, except he's fed up of all the claims. Good. I'm glad. You see, they're... Right, I'm not going to get into a rant. But you just reminded me to say something. There is nothing wrong with the way that Charlotte used to market the products, right? She used to say, oh, this is fabulous, darling. Oh, it's fabulous. It's you know, my celebrities on the red carpet, they've all bought it because they all love it, darlings. It's brilliant. It's brilliant. And, you know, Susan Sarandon, it's her favourite product of all time. She never leaves a hotel room without it. You know, that's great. We love to hear that. We love to hear that. And then she'd put down 80% of women said their skin felt firmer after using this. And then you'd look and it'd say that it was 30 people. So you work out what 80% of 30 is. And you, whatever that is, I don't know. I'm not going to do the maths quickly. But, you know, you suddenly think, okay, so what? 23 people. I'm just saying that off the top of my head. 23 people said that it made they felt it made their skin look firmer. There's nothing wrong with that because it's transparent. It's transparent, and we know what we're talking about. Is she's asked 30 people who she gave a free bottle, don't forget that, a free bottle of a product pre-launch, asked them to sign a non-disclosure agreement and said, I'm going to give you a product that's not even out yet, and you're one of the lucky few, and then said, can you tell me what you think of it? That's the other factor to consider, right? Is they're not going to say it's awful because they want some more free products, but that's something else to think about. But at least you know what they mean, what the figures mean. It's fine. There's nothing wrong, and there's nothing wrong with. Listen, if there was something wrong, you see, I'm starting now, but I'm gonna shut up in a minute. If there was something wrong with getting people's subjective experience of skincare, then none of you would tune in and watch me. Because that's all I'm doing. So I'd be a bit of a hypocrite if I said there was something wrong with subjective experiences of skincare, because otherwise what am I doing here? Nothing wrong with that at all. What is wrong is when you make something seem like it's clinical and it's very specific, it's 354% and it's a clinical trial, and then you don't give any more information. That's what annoys me. Right, I'm going to be quiet now. That's it. Look, you see, I can be quiet for more than a couple of seconds. Only a couple of seconds, but... And what do people think about these linalols and geraniols and whatever? And I am thinking about the... Love you, Ali, for being the honest, wonderful you. Natasha Denona pastel palette hitting the shelves this week. All right. Yeah, Maria, they probably did test on 20 people under the age of 20. Allergies are definitely serious. Maria, it's not even a 310% malarkey. Do you know, I could even forgive her for 310%. It's 311%. And I was thinking, I wonder, is it just possible with 30 women that someone in an office has got very bad math skills and they've basically added up the 30 women's good comments, and it's turned, the fact that it was 30 women and it's 300 and something. I'm sorry, I apologise to Charlotte Tilbury if that is really misrepresenting her, and that they've got some really scientific people in there that have sorted out, but that in the absence of any other information, you cannot blame us. Yeah, so what do people think about the linalols and the linalols and the yeah, but you see, it's not just pedantic, Maria. The 11% makes you think that they did something really seriously specific. Not that they gave out a questionnaire to 30 women and said, did you like this? Did you think it made your skin look better? It's misleading. What do people think about the linalols and the geraniols and stuff in products? And I'm thinking back to this. You remember the loose powder, the magic powder, and everybody hated it because it smelled awful. And well, not everyone did, and I wasn't actually that fussed by it because I thought it's an earthy smell. It's just naturally what these things probably smell like when you don't add too much fragrance to them. And I definitely think that if linalool and geraniol and those little things at the bottom had not been added into the oil, that they wouldn't smell quite as nice. They are fragrance, Bushra. They are fragrance. It surprised me that it's fragrance extract from plants, but just because it's natural does not mean it's good, because they are irritants for the skin, but it is fragrance. So they've got all these lovely oils, and then at the bottom they've got these linalols, geraniol, which you get on a lot of products. And I said on my video yesterday, what do people think about this? Because I think it's a good discussion point, is if you bought a face oil and you still got all these claims, and people saying it was really good, but it smelt a bit like, I don't know if any of you have ever just bought the pure organic oils on their own, but some of them smell pretty rank. Some of them are not nice, but they're very good for the skin. I'm trying to think of an example, but I'm sure you can all think of examples. You get them and you think you're going to get this really lovely smell because they're a natural oil, and they actually smell pretty horrible. If you were to get her oil like that with all the claims and yet it didn't smell very nice, or it smelled very earthy, would you still want to buy it? Because I think it's easy to say, oh, we don't want these things in there. Yeah, there's a lot of natural things that are not necessarily... We've equated natural with being good for. And we've equated chemicals as being bad for. And actually, you know, someone was saying similar thing about the preservatives that they put in face creams. Okay, you don't want that. It's a chemical, which, by the way, everything's a chemical. So if you don't want that, do you want to have to keep your face cream in a fridge and then chuck it out after 30 days? Because that's what would happen if we didn't put that in the product. It's just a really interesting discussion point. Now, I'm just going to put some of this nude cashmere onto my lids as a base for this palette. I did laugh at it, I have to say. I was going to make a joke out of it, and I'll do that today, but the kind of, you know, increases, what was it? Increases the fullness of the skin by 300 and whatever %. And I just had this vision of people, all her testers, walking around with these hugely swollen faces, looking like they've got anaphylactic shock. And the other thing about consumers, we don't mind a bit. 1011%, Maria, I love it. Here's where I think green Luna oil smells like that, does it, Bushra? Oil pan fat smell, exactly. A lot of oils smell like oil pan fat, unless you put a bit of perfume in them. What was I going to say? I've completely forgotten what I was going to say. It'll come to me again in a minute. So this, by the way, is nude cashmere that I put on my lids. And I really love this because it does not crease. It dries down really quickly, and it doesn't, I don't get that bit collecting there. Now I'm going to put on this Natural Beauty thing, and then I'm going to put on a red lip. Because I thought this nude cashmere is a perfect base for this palette. And I just wanted to try it. But this is just going to make you, this palette, I wish you'd bring it back out. Not that Charlotte Tilbury will listen to me anymore after the videos that I put out. But not that they ever did, but this palette is great because it really does give you that, oh no, I just look like this when I get out of bed look. And then it's got this sort of shimmery one in the middle, which I just put on my lids. I saw her using this shade. She's got a great video, a very old video, obviously, because this is an old palette. There's a really good video where Charlotte Tilbury is making up Nikki Chapman. She put this in her socket, this for shade. And I don't quite understand how it works, but it did. But it's way too light for me to do that. And then this one at the end is lovely. It's just a really good natural socket shade. Which one is this palette? So this one is the very old. Probably shouldn't be using it, but I don't care. Natural Beauty. It's the first one she brought out. And I do look after my palettes and I keep them clean and I spray them and whatever. And if any of them smelt really rank, I would get rid of them. Or I just keep them. I've got a little box where I keep things that definitely look off, but I want to keep them for swatch comparisons. But this one, sorry, but I love it too much and it smells fine. So if I suddenly got a reaction to it, then I would obviously not use it. Or if I got an eye infection. But as I said, I spray them with disinfectant spray for makeup. But I do love this palette. It's just, oh look. I mean, it's not, I'm going to be honest, it's not my absolute favourite of her instant looking palettes. I think that's probably Beauty Glow, or I suppose it depends what mood I'm in, but I just think this is so good if you just want a really natural, polished appearance, but you don't want to look like you made too much effort. Now this I'm using as a liner, this shade here, because it's almost identical, the shade of this, to a Audrey liner. I know she doesn't call it Audrey anymore, but it's identical to her powder pencil in Audrey. So it looks really nice and subtle on. And I'll just put a little bit more in the corner there. But also using that New Eyes to Mesmerise underneath it is going to help it stick. You've got Beauty Glow. Beauty Glow is lovely. And then I'm just going to take this highlighter shade and I'm just going to use that under my brow. And in here. I know I don't really deviate much about the method of the way I'm putting my eyeshadow on these days. I'll have to try and do that one day just to show you a different way. But you find a way of putting things on that suits your eye shape, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that as long as it suits your eye shape. Now, of course, I wouldn't use a mascara that was really old. That's the difference. Now, this bronzer is quite fair, but again, it looks really nice because it doesn't look like you've gone over the top. It just gives you a lovely warmth to the skin without going over the top. You can see now why I took it into hospital when Jack was having his surgery, so that when the doctors came on the ward round, I didn't look completely dead. At the same time, I didn't look done up like a dog's dinner. And actually, this is a perfect shade to just take around my chest area. which is always very fair. Now, I'm going to put some liner on in a minute and some mascara. But I'm just going to now use the blush. Now, the blush is quite similar. It's not the same, but it's quite similar to Love Glow. The kind of two pinks that almost look identical, but they're slightly different shades of pink. Yes. Sometimes you don't want a really bronzy in your face bronzer, do you? You just want to give a bit of warmth to the face. And it's a really pretty pink. Now what I would do with this, and as I said, I'm just going to find a different way of doing it. So basically you're going to get all of that looks quite natural, and then I'm going to put a bright red lip on. Just another way of doing it. Just what this does is it enables you to really have a really bright red lip, because the eyes are not too in your face. Now, I want a little bit of eye cheat. The other thing you could do is you could put something like a green as a contrast to the browns in this, which you know I'm a lover of doing. That eye's a bit sensitive today. Definitely did not like me doing that. And then I shall get some mascara. Let's use this Mile High Club because it hasn't got too many thickeners in it. This is the one by Wonder Beauty. Nina, you got that box, didn't you? The Wonder Beauty box. What do you think of it? I know you said initially you were really pleased with it. Is it still living up to everything that you wanted from it? The other thing that would be really good with this look is of course, the Wonder Beauty lipstick. You could go for a nice fresh coral. And in fact, when Charlotte Tilbury did this look, I'll see if I can find the video, because when this palette, this Instant Look in a palette came out, she made up Nikki Chapman, and she looked gorgeous. And when she did this on Nikki Chapman, she oh, you like the powder puff? I must give that another go. When she made up Nikki Chapman, she put on a corally pink lipstick that made me buy, I know, Miranda May, and it looks so good with this. Really nice. Miranda May, it's a coral, but it's not too bright a coral, but it really brought out the colour in Nikki's eyes. It looked really pretty. What I'll do is I'll put on, I'm not going to get up and find my Miranda May now, but what I'll do is when I do the final photograph on Instagram, I'll do it with the red lipstick, but I'll also do it with the Miranda May so that you can all see what that looked like. Now, I am after a brow product. And then the lipstick is going to kind of set off the look. I should have brushed them up first. Naughty me. I'm still loving the Avon one. I actually reach for that more than my Charlotte Tilbury, this one, because it's so easy. And it's, at the moment, it's £6.50 on Avon. And it's called Mark Brow Tattoo. Love it. But I'm going to use Charlotte's today for a change. You have a special technique of using it. Well, share the special technique, will you, Nina? Yes, love everything in there. Makes me feel like a queen. So I can try out your special technique. I think maybe the product's not activated enough yet on me, because I couldn't really see that anything was coming out. I could see it on the puff, but I couldn't see much more. That, you know, if you put a powder puff that's got nothing on it on your face, that it will take a bit of the shine off anyway, just because the powder puff will absorb some of the oil that's causing the shine. So even if you had nothing in the puff, it would take a little bit of shine off, and that's all I could see. Oh, this eye. Oh, thank you, Carrie. You look lovely as always. Makeup is fab. It does give you the most amazing finish. Right, so now I'm going to look for this lipstick, which I did put out. Ah, here it is. All ready. But I do need... This is my Yves Saint Laurent one. My red lip from Yves Saint Laurent. And I just need to find myself. I know where I've got one. I definitely want to have a red lip liner, and I've got one here. I don't tend to reach for Charlotte's red lip liner because it always looks pink on me. It doesn't look red. But I've got the Pat McGrath one. And hopefully it doesn't need too much sharpening. It could do with a bit. So let me just sharpen this. This is the red lip set from Pat McGrath. So it's called Bloodlust, the lip pencil. Right, I'm going to fill it in a bit as well. Oh, I did put the mascara on, didn't I? Do you see how the red lip suddenly brings the eyeshadow? It's just another way of, you know, a lot of the time when you do a very natural eye, you just do a very natural look and leave it at that. But it's another way of wearing a red lip, which kind of draws attention to the red lip. Ah, that's right. This is one that this is an Yves Saint Laurent one that my niece's boyfriend bought me for Christmas. Am I not lucky? And this is called Red Tribe. I'm sure my niece probably bought it for him to give me. Really good doe foot. It's got a bit of an angle to it, so it's actually quite easy to get on. Thank you, Nina. You know what? I thought I was really going to miss my retinol. I know Charlotte's Magic Night Cream's got a bit of retinol in it, but it's nowhere as high a grade as the retinol that's in Medic 8. But I haven't really missed it this week. I mean, I want to get back to using retinol because it's good for the skin, but I've just been using Charlotte Tilbury, all Charlotte Tilbury. And if you look at my first video on the oil, I put down my routine. The only thing I will admit to slightly going off. So I said I was going to do Charlotte Tilbury all week exclusively. I'm going to be totally transparent about this. The only thing that I veered away from that's not Charlotte Tilbury is the cleanser in the morning. And the reason for that is that when I get up sometimes in the morning, as you probably all know, I have kind of, if I've got bad pain day, I think I've mentioned this before, standing and leaning over a sink is just not going to happen. So I just tend to, in general, use a micellar water in the morning because I can sit on the bed. I'm not having to bend over a sink. Unfortunately, Charlotte Tilbury does not do a micellar water. She only does wash your face and bend over in the sink kind of cleansers. So that's the only thing that I veered away from. And I've been using the Bioderma micellar water. I do like that one. And I stocked up on it a while ago. So I've got 2 bottles of it. But other than that, I've stuck to Charlotte Tilbury. Even the exfoliator, I've been putting on the exfoliator. I've only put it on once, but I'm going to do it twice a week. And then I'm going to use the dry sheet mask. It's all going to be Charlotte Tilbury. But as I said, with the exception of in the mornings not using her cleanser because she doesn't do a micellar water. If she did a cleanser that you didn't have to go to the sink, because in the morning you don't really need to wash your face. You've done all that the night before. You need to get the surface dirt off, obviously, but you don't, it's not essential to actually have to go and wash your face. So I use a micellar water and it means I don't have to bend over the sink. But other than that, I've stuck to it. So that is the look. You'll have to demo it for me. You know what I mean. Yes. Please demo it for me and send it to me. Now, by the way, Stacey, I know Stacey can't always join us, but just to let you know, I don't know if she's tagged. I suggested that she tagged an Instagram post with Ali Pallies. Stacey's got quite a few items that she is wanting to sell. And I there was one that I wanted and I bought off her. But the other things I'm not really interested in. But I said, you know, do check with the Ali Pallies. And likewise, if anyone else has got stuff that they want to sell, but, you know, I know that it's a great little community. Just put Ali Pallies if you want. And we'll all keep a lookout on Ali Pallies. Or we could start a new tag if you want. Ali Pallies items for sale. If you want. Next, shall I put a bit of spray? Let's put a bit of spray on. I do really love that Instant Look in a palette. I wish you'd bring it back because then I would get rid of it and I'd use the new one. But it's just a really nice one to sling in your bag if you want to quickly put some makeup on and look like you're I can't think of the word, but just polished. Ali Pally shop if you want. As long as people realise it's not me selling everything. But yeah, you can call it Ali Pally's shop if you want. I'm looking for a tissue. I never have my tissues nearby. What have I got? I must have something. I must have something. I normally have a box of tissues here. No, I'm just going to have to snuffle. Right. So I'm finishing my tea. Has anyone got any questions? 311% off. Oh dear. I'm definitely not going to ever be on the Charlotte Tilbury PR list. But I hope that secretly, even if they never admit it, if any of them do ever watch it, I hope that secretly they have a laugh. I do happen to know, and I'm not going to mention names because it wouldn't be fair, but I do happen to know that the one particular makeup artist that works for Charlotte Tilbury watches me and is quite amused when I'm not so complimentary. They find it quite amusing, but obviously they could never admit that because they work for Charlotte Tilbury, which is why I wouldn't say who they were. And you can't check because I've got quite a few makeup artists from Charlotte Tilbury that follow me on Instagram, so you're not going to guess who it is. And I wouldn't want to get them in trouble with the organisation, but I know that there are a few, and they like the fact that I just say it as it is. And I think that's important because, you know, when Charlotte does these what do you call it? These, you know the one, or you think you know the one. You may not know the one. But when they do these, you know, the things that they do online, they're all about like everything. I'm obsessed with this, I'm obsessed with that, I'm obsessed with the other. This is good for every type of skin. This is good for, and in fairness, they've got to do that. They work for Charlotte Tilbury and their job is to sell. So I get that. Totally get it. But what it misses out on is the fact that, I don't know about you, but when I am going on to a brand and I want to purchase something from their site, I need somebody, and when I'm doing my videos, I try and think like this. I need somebody to help me whittle down what's my priority to get, right? And if someone says to me that this is all great, this is all fantastic, I can't live without any of it, and I'm obsessed with all of it, then what I would do is I'd come away from that site and I wouldn't order anything, because I'd be thinking I can't order it all and I have no idea now what to get. So I wouldn't buy any of it. It's not actually a very good way to sell. And that's what I try to do, is I try to help people to decide what their priorities are. I can't make a decision for you, and we've all got our different needs, but to give you the information so that you can decide what you're not going to get and what you really have to get, like now, and you don't want to miss out on, you know. And I'm always aware that what I might really like is not something that's going to suit everyone. So I try and incorporate that. And I think that's where sometimes these companies go a little bit wrong, is that they definitely, they'll sit there and say they're obsessed with everything and everything's fantastic because they're selling their brand, but that doesn't help you as the listener to decide what you want to buy. I'd far rather someone said, you know what, if you've got dry skin, don't get this. What you want is this. You can still sell stuff, but you're helping them decide. What product do you want to buy from Stacey? I've already bought it, Terry. The product that I bought from Stacey is the She had a little travel size of the Medic 8 cleanser. And I haven't tried that yet. So I said, I'll have that off you. I really need to find something resembling at least a tissue. Do you know what I've got here? I've got a throwaway face mask. I'm just going to grab that because my eyes are streaming and my nose is about to run. So I'm just going to use one of these and then throw it out. That's better. Oh, that's better. Now, just turn it round so I can dab under this eye. And someone's going to say that's because you used an old palette, I'm sure. But it doesn't really matter. These days, my eyes water whatever I do, so... What is it they say? You might as well be hung for a sheep as a lamb. So yeah, what I will do in the Instagram post is I'm going to put Miranda May on as well, so you can see it with this look with Miranda May. And I'll post a link to the video where Charlotte does this look on Nikki Chapman. See, I nearly forgot her name. Do I have my Wonder Powder at hand? I probably do. Let me see. This is going to be interesting. Do I have it to hand? I think I do. I think I do. Yes. Play all day. I have it at to hand. I need to sort out this table in front of me. I've got a lot of my makeup organised, but I do have a lot just piled up in front of me. Right, I've got it to hand. Go on then. There, look, you can see some of the powders there. So I'm not going to do that. I'm waiting for your instructions, Nina. Yeah, I'm ready. I'm definitely ready. So Nina's going to give me instructions. Just do what I tell you on the forehead for demo purposes, okay? I will. This is interesting. This is exciting, isn't it? Right, hit it gently like a fan. Like a fan. Like that. I can't see anything. Maybe I just haven't activated it enough yet. I really can't see anything. As if you're giving yourself a little slap. No, don't press. Is that right? Am I doing it right? Take the edge of the powder puff and whack it on. The edge. No, just the edge of the puff. Like that. that, you mean? Is everyone having a good giggle at me, following the instructions? Okay, maybe I can see something now. See, I think the reason I'm being a bit cynical is I think if there was nothing in this puff, it would just the act of touching your face with the puff would take some of the shine off it. You'll do a video. So, you see, if I do that, it will take some of the shine off. But if there was nothing in that puff, it would do that because the puff is absorbent. So it's going to take some of the shine off anyway. But maybe now I can see a little bit more. If I'm being fair. What I need to do is I'll buy an empty puff on Amazon, right? And I'll do half of my face with this and half of my face with the completely empty puff, so that you see why I'm a little bit skeptical about it. Because if you put an empty puff on your face, you would definitely take shine off without there being any product on it whatsoever. So I want to see what the difference is with the powder. I can see something, but I'm not convinced that it's not just the puff. I'm not convinced it's the powder that's doing that. But maybe I'll keep giving it a go, because maybe I also haven't activated it enough. I can see, don't press. If you press, it doesn't work. But I'm hitting it now against my hand. I can see, yeah, okay, I can see powder on my hand now. But I really had to whack that hard. Okay. I'll end up with bruises on my face. There we go. Right, I will have a look at that. I'm doing very little taps. Firm, but little ones. All right, well, I hope this has been helpful to you all. And we will sort out the Wonder powder. And I will have a look at Nina's video and we'll do an update. But I will see you soon. And I'm now going to, nothing else is going to push it back. The next video coming out in the next couple of days is definitely going to be my Zara palette. Okay? So tune in for that. I haven't bought the lipstick from Zara yet, but I do have the eyeshadow to show you. So that will be my very next video. And then after that, I'll be doing an update on my skincare and what I think about the oil. Okay? All right. Take care, and don't forget to like this video. And don't forget to tell your friends again. Please, please, please. I just need a few more subs. Again, it's not, I know I've always said it's quality, not quantity. But the more subs you get, the more advert revenue you get, the more you can keep going with buying products. So yeah, if you do have any friends that are interested, do let them know. And I will see you all soon. Take care. Love you all. Mwah!